From AIT Studios in Abuja, Nigeria, this is the O&M Late Show with Obiora Ilo and Mamode Akuga.
That's right. This is the O&M Late Show with Obiora and Mamode. Congratulations, Nigeria. Well, today we are celebrating the growth of our democracy. We have our new president in waiting, a president-elect, but it took so much to get to this point. Congratulations to our president for making Nigerians all over the world proud. Today, a lot of people want to say they're Nigerians because good things are coming from Nigeria. Mamode.
Yes, Obiora, it's a glorious day for Nigeria. It's, excitement in the air. People all over the world are so impressed and so happy with Nigeria. And one of the very few people who has committed himself to looking for good leadership within the tropical continent of Africa, that's Mo Ibrahim.
Yes.
Had very nice words for the first time to say about Nigeria. Very, very nice words. He congratulated Nigeria, the people of Nigeria, congratulated the president-elect, and then congratulated President Jonathan for conceding defeat. In his words, it was a very rare feat, and it was an example for the rest of Africa to emulate. So, Nigeria becoming a shining example.
Yes.
It's a thing to be proud of.
And you know, when we say we want peaceful elections, when we say we want good things to come out of Nigeria, some people don't really understand it. Everybody is taking glory for what has happened. You know, whether you're a Nigerian diaspora, whether Nigeria within the country, we're all taking glory for what has happened in Nigeria. So tonight, we'll be looking at the APC government when it comes and the future of Nigeria. Yeah. We have with us in the studio one of the key players in APC. He's been here just before the elections to tell us about all the things that the APC was planning to do for Nigeria. Tonight, yes, he will tell us how those dreams will be realized.
You remember that on the show, he was extremely confident that they will get victory at the elections. You remember he asked us to bring the map of Nigeria out and spread it so he could do a state-by-state analysis, you know, for us, and to say that his party, the APC, was very, very confident of victory. Well,
you know, they say talk is cheap. Talk yes, is cheap. So let's see how. I don't know if our cameras are showing our guest. That's Senator Chris Ngige, who unfortunately lost his seat to the PDP. We'll be asking him how that happened, because a lot of people, they had banked on his retaining his seat, and yes, it was a big surprise that he lost that seat to the PDP.
And that, for me, Obiora, was a very, very costly miss on the part of Senator Chris Ngige. But we'll come to talk about it much later, because if he had gotten a senatorial seat in an APC government, the chances would have been very bright for Senator Ngige to have probably emerged as president of Senate. Who knows?
Who knows?
So
I don't think he's given up yet.
We'll talk about that. But let's,
and of course, in furtherance of the good things happening in Nigeria, yes, just a few days after the election, the sitting president and the president-elect had a meeting, just yes, like they do in the United States.
A transitional meeting.
Yes.
To work out the modalities for the transition and the transfer of power.
Smooth transfer of power.
Yeah, so that meeting, of course, took place behind closed doors in the villa today. And I must say that personally, I'm excited and happy about the very cordial relationship. Forget about all the hate campaigns that, and all
those are things that are related to the campaigns.
It's politics, really.
Well,
but now both of them are very cordial. The language between them is very civil, and they're smiling, and I'm sure the transition will be very smooth.
Well, I hope that the Fayoshes of the world would learn a lesson or two from what is happening between President Jonathan and the President-elect Buhari. Because we commented on this program when Fayose became governor, that when he was being sworn in, instead of talking as governor of Ekiti State, he was still talking about APC and talking about PDP. And one more thing I want the president and the president-elect to do, since they are following the shining example that America is always setting, I'd like them to ride on the same car when they go to the inauguration on the 29th of May.
It just might happen.
I think it will happen.
I think it will happen. I mean, we're breaking new grounds. That should not be a difficult thing to achieve.
Well, the campaign organization of Buhari says Buhari did not promise power in, eliminating Boko Haram in 2 months.
Well, that is something that's been, in the social media.
A lot of people thought that that was what he said.
Yes, but, there are a lot of other issues, security and issues that they will have to look into. But I mean, jumping to say in 2 months it will be over, I think that will be stretching.
It would just be like the former, the chief of defense staff, who took over and said it will be over.
Yes.
He gave a deadline, and
he found out very quickly that it was an erroneous move to completely say that the Boko Haram will be wiped out in a few months. And former Inspector General of Police, MD Yusuf, passed away a few days ago. A man of great integrity, tried his hands at the presidency of Nigeria. But he did his part. Probably the third indigenous Inspector General of Police of Nigeria. Of course, a man, like I said, a lot of integrity. He will be missed. Yeah,
we'll condole with his family. He left at the time we needed him most. Yes. But like you said, he had played his part.
He's played his part.
And he left legacies.
Yes.
Of course, still talking about people passing away. The one that happened this morning, the Kano INEC commissioner, saddened a lot of people in Nigeria. And just this afternoon, the commissioner of police in that state was talking about what happened. Well, a lot of people like me, we're taking that story with a pinch of salt. This is a man who is secured by a number of security men, and then there's a fire in his compound. He didn't bang at the door. He didn't break the windows. He didn't use his phone. And suddenly, the security men discover that there's a fire, and they find him in the bathroom with his wife and children.
I think that
it's
for me, what I would say that it's something does not add up there.
Yeah.
That's the much I can say.
And it's better. It was time a lot of things add up, because this was the kind of story we heard during the Bola Ige assassination, stories that didn't quite add up. A lot of gaps here and there. Well, this is a new season. Maybe all this will stop.
Security forces, yes. All right, we're going to get down very shortly to talking to Senator Chris Ngige, but also let you know that there was an interview we wanted to bring to you last week on this program. An interview we had with the former governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi. We hopefully will be able to bring you that interview later on when we finish with Dr. Chris Ngige on the O&M show for tonight. All right, Obiora, I think it's time. We will get down to talking with Senator Chris Ngige right after this timeout. Don't go away.
we play that clip from the internet. I'm sure they're going to add 2 more names. One will be a boy without shoes who taught a nation how to lose with dignity. And another one, a soldier who soldiered on so many times until his dream came true. Yes. Maybe those will be added. Well, joining us right away is Senator Chris Ngige, a stalwart of the APC, and someone that I enjoy talking with.
And a lot of people like listening to.
You're welcome, sir.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Distinguished Senator.
Mahmoud,
welcome again.
Distinguished Senator, you've changed your cap.
Yes.
Is that with the mood of the victory of the APC? Because I've never seen you in a cap like this before.
This cap?
Yes.
Really? I'm a Nigerian, and this is a cap worn by the thieves of Benue in North Central State. So I'm changing my caps.
What inspired the youth tonight?
I just want to relax a little bit. We've been in the war front. With my black,
your papa's cap,
my guerrilla cap. It's a guerrilla warfare cap. So we are slowing down now. We are going to do a bigger work, so we need to relax now.
You look like a fulfilled general.
Yes, because we've been on this business to bring a progressive government into Nigeria since about 2005, when I got into the opposition, and we formed the Action Congress in 2006 as an opposition party. Used it to contest the election in 2007 when I came back from the United States. You know, I left the governorship seat of Anambra State in 2006, and I was away for about 12 months and came back. So I've been an opposition man, and I've been wearing that my gorilla card because we are fighting to liberate the people of Nigeria. The people of Nigeria have been under bondage, the bondage of the PDP, misrule of the PDP. And the bad thing about it is that because of ignorance, a lot of people, the major part of the population, didn't realize what was happening to them. Corruption, which is the main cankerworm that ate deep here, is like a cancer.
Senator, well, that's the past. The APC has won.
Yes.
We are tired of hearing all the things that PDP got wrong.
Didn't do right.
Didn't do right.
Yes.
We want to hear what the APC will do right. I mean, it's a couple of days since you won this election.
Yes.
So a lot of Nigerians are hungry and the expectations are high.
It is, definitely.
I hope the APC won't spend the next 1-2 years talking about the ills of the PDP.
Why should we? We have our manifesto. We have also our work program. And I can tell you that if not for the public holidays, the Holy Week for the Christians, we'll have put our hands on the till and on the plow, and we start.
You have
but
to
by
wait,
next
you have
week,
to wait till May 29.
No, we can't. May 29 is the day our government will come in situ.
Yes.
But before then, we have to prepare for our government. We'll have our transition committee. Our transition committee will come into effect on Tuesday, immediately after the holidays. We'll name the committee and then swear them in, and they start work. To be a committee that will x-ray the present government and then marry it pari passu with our own manifesto and our work program, and then distill, give us something to work with as a government. it will be a committee that will fan out into so many other subcommittees. Yeah. Some will take care of security, some will take care of social services, health, education. Some will take care of infrastructure, air transport, road transport, marine, sea transport, and some agriculture, agri-light, so that we see how we can change Nigerians' environment.
Senator,
for me,
this change that the APC has been, talking about, change.
Yes.
For the ordinary Nigerian, I mean, or let's say for every Nigerian, how soon do you think that they will feel the immediate impact of government?
Well, you see, I will not tell you categorically is this time.
Why?
We have to look at the degree of fraud. And that's what that committee will do. The transition committee, they will look at all the things, fashion out the way forward. And when the government itself comes in place, we will also now have other committees that are government committees. Some people call it panel, or whatever name. But these ones will look into what is there. You know, when you are transiting, the Nigerian, or the outgoing government will have also their own transition committee. And the two will interface.
Harmonize, yes.
Yes. If they like, they can hide certain things from you. You are not there already. You don't have a grip of the government. But when you come in, you can put in any committee that is directly looking at the books, directly looking at what's on ground, directly looking at everything. For example, when I came into government in Anambra State, I have a transition committee. I have one. My committee gave me a roadmap of what my government will look like. The number of ministries I should have, number of commissioners, rationalization of the ministries there. Then the debt status. We ask people who are owed by government to bring in their papers for verification, things like that. But when we finished, we now had a government contract re-evaluation committee. Debt recovery. The debt recovery in Anambra then was two ways. Some people say government was owing them. When we audited and looked at everything, it turned out that they were owing government. They hadn't done adequate works for which they said certificates have been generated.
So you need to actually come in and see the whole picture.
Sure.
You know, when people hear APC say, oh, the rot that PDP did, oh, this, that the PDP, and they look at the human beings. Senator Chris Ngige is a PDP man. Governor Amechi is a PDP man. You know, name it.
We disagree with the PDP.
Yeah, but
that is interesting.
You led a PDP state.
Yes.
For a couple of years.
Yes.
Rotimi
as chief executive.
As chief executive in Port Harcourt, in Rivers State, has been there for 8 years.
Yes.
So when you keep saying the PDP, wouldn't it be better if we just look at what the problems are? Because some people in the APC, we are also part of the problem.
No. If we're not PDP, we're not PDP. Somebody like me, I've left PDP 10 years ago. Must you continue branding me PDP? When I had gone into an opposition party that metamorphosed and coalesced with other opposition to form a mega opposition party, which is the APC. I'm not PDP. I disagree with them on principles. So how can you then say I'm PDP? I was doing the right things in Anambra State to elevate the image of my party. And the people, they say, we're happy. I put in a, like I said, contract evaluation, recovered a lot of money. I plugged the leakages, started work on infrastructure, paid off pensioners, paid off civil servants that were owed 7 months' salary. And they said they didn't like it. And instead of giving me a flag you know, and giving me a gold award. They removed my name from the register and said that I disagree with favored sons.
But now that
Rotimi Amaechi and his group disagree with them too.
Now that you're talking
on the running of the party.
Now that you're talking
and
about
what was happening,
the good work you did in Anambra State, one is worried, or rather surprised, that in the last all the elections you've gone for,
yes,
after winning the, all the elections you've gone for, you only succeeded in one. To the Senate.
How good were the elections?
You went for governorship.
How good were the elections?
If you were such a wonderful governor, why are you losing elections?
How good were the elections? Just like the one they did just the other day. Will you call it an election? Charade. After the voting, collation couldn't take place.
But
the collation could take place. They came with soldiers, they came with police, carted away everything. And in most places, they didn't bring result sheets. How is that an election? The card reader that was brought there to make for proper accreditation, to make sure that the number of accredited voters was recorded electronically. They dismantled it. They disabled it. It couldn't work. It didn't work in the whole of Anambra State. It didn't work in most part of Imo State. Abia. A grand design was put in place for manual election in the southeast and south-south. But they succeeded in the main in the southeast. But we fought them back. They couldn't write the results as they wanted. If we were not there, like in 2011, they will return 1.5 million votes for Anambra for Mr. President, for the PDP candidate. We said no. In Enugu, they returned 1.3 in 2011. What did they return now? 500 and. Because they were afraid. And we were pursuing them bumper to bumper. So in effect for us, for some of us, the results that came out from the southeast, even though they were manipulated and written, they were written out of fright. They wrote them out of fright. They couldn't do what they wanted. Can you imagine a situation where they return 1.5 from Anambra, 1.3 from Enugu, 1 million from Ebonyi, 1.2 from Imo, 1.2 from Abia? You know what the result will have been. So we are gallant soldiers. I'm a GOC. We don't know what to fight them.
The taste of victory, how sweet is it in your mouth?
Very sweet. Very sweet. As a matter of fact, with what they did in the senatorial election, they took the lesser prize. We took the bigger one with our presidential.
But everybody said you were almost going to be the Senate president. Don't you feel a sense of loss? No. I don't. You see, power is given by God. Positions are created, and it's God that put people there. When I was living as governor, some people say if it is them, they will die. They will prefer to fight. I said, why are you fighting? Why are you dying? Were you born a governor? I wasn't born a governor. And I contested for the Senate. The people said, we want to thank you, and returned me and gave me a Senate seat. So I don't bother about positions. The important thing is that wherever you find yourself, give your best in the interest of the masses. Are you going to court? Are you challenging your loss in Anambra?
You see, we are going to challenge that election to prove a point. Not that I will start relying on the outcome of the courts, tribunal of 180 days, court of appeal of 90 or 60 days, I don't know. This. But in all and all, you are spending 1 year in courts. And, you know, disturbing your psyche. I'm a party man. My party has won. So I'm available for any type of service. For now, if it is even as a subsidiary staff that is making inputs into whatever that will help our party to put in place good government, I will do it. If they tell me that for the governance of Nigeria and for us to give high quality government, you have to be a consultant to Committee A or Committee B, wonderfully fine. We want to put in here a government that will be accountable, transparent, credible, humane, and that will wipe out the tears
of Nigerians.
Of Nigerians.
Yes. But now,
are you not crying?
Now
you have cried for one thing or the other. Either that there is power failure in your house, my generator is not working, or that with this power failure I'm buying diesel at 160 naira a liter. My pocket is now dry. Or that there is no water running here.
There's
you
no
are
doubt.
providing yourself electricity. You are generating your own electricity.
Naturally.
For anybody in Nigeria, don't deceive yourself and say you are a big man. There's nothing like big man here. The suffering is universal. Yesterday I have two gensets. They said one, the battery has gone down. They said the GMG people didn't come to service, and so it's not starting. And there was no NEPA.
And the two were down. So
I was in the dark. Is it not suffering?
What I really want to find out.
So I was crying yesterday, and so I know you people have been crying.
The services won't allow you to ask the question.
The question I was asking, Senator,
the suffering in the land is too much. We are determined to stop the suffering in the land.
Yes, that is my question. That is my question.
Yes,
because you are in the think tank of the APC, major leader in the APC. You must have held meetings where you agreed within yourselves. I mean, in Nigeria, not to talk of now that the expectations are even very high.
Yeah.
In Nigeria, there's a culture of, 100 days, the first 100 days, what will you achieve as a government? Yeah. Now, with a lot of talk of change, when you hold your meetings, there must have been something that you will have within the APC hierarchy to say, look, once we get into government, we must give Nigerians X and X within the first 100 days of our getting into government so that they can feel the impact. That's what I'm really trying to get out from you.
Well, the slogan of first 100 days in office, for me, doesn't matter too much. I didn't pay too much attention to it when I was in Anambra. And for us in APC, the important thing is that we have a work program. We have a work program. And we're going to implement things there. And in this work program, we have things for immediate attention.
Yeah, what are the quick impact? Yes.
What you can call quick fixes.
Yes.
We have medium term, and we have long-term projection. It's a government of 4 years. But the important thing I can assure you is that within our first year in office, because, I mean, there is no, don't make mistake about it. The degree of decay is enormous. Standing from outside, you can even see it. You can perceive it. You can smell it. So let nobody be deluded. Nobody be deceived that there's an instant magic that will be done. No, there will be no magic. But you will see the effect of our government on a day-to-day basis as we progress. You will be seeing them. You are Nigerians. As we speak now, so many of the governments in Nigeria can pay salaries. As we speak now, even some federal agencies can pay salaries.
Okay, distinguished.
It cannot happen under our watch. I can assure you.
Let me ask you a last question. You're very close to Buhari. You are there.
Are you one of those who said I'm Malamungige? They said I'm Malamungige.
Well, if that will help make Nigeria better, why not?
Why not?
So that's what I answered.
You are sporting the thief cap already.
You're very close to the president-elect.
Can
you, having interacted with him,
yes,
tell us in very few sentences, is he sincere about moving Nigeria forward, or did he just want to be president?
This question is a very unfair question now.
No.
You said I'm very close to him.
Yes.
But I can tell you, I came close to this man, this president-elect, in the last 24 months. And I can tell you, the president-elect is a very misunderstood Nigerian. And do you know why? He doesn't believe in publicity. He doesn't believe in spending unnecessary funds. Polishing yourself, polishing. I'm this, I did that, I didn't do that. Some of them lies, propaganda. He doesn't believe in doing that. I don't believe in that too. I don't believe in that. I believe that your work should speak for you.
So we can go to bed and believe
Go to bed. Close your two eyes. And just be praising and thanking God.
Well, I think that if we leave Senator Chris, he will go out.
You have got a very humane, compassionate, visionary, courageous leader.
Okay.
Highly intelligent, but does not bandy it about. Not loquacious. Not talking when it's unnecessary.
No. Distinguished Senator,
So
we have to stop.
Nigeria has got down a link on you. I can tell you.
Okay.
Yeah. And
So,
I will come back to this program again, maybe after 6 months.
Yes, we will.
Just like I told you people that we were winning this election, and I told you people we were going to win in 28 states outright, making 25%.
We'll give it to you, Senator. We'll give it to you. Your permutation was very correct.
You are going to give me a prize.
Yeah, we are going to.
We have a cup. We have a cup for you.
This is a prize.
Thank you. Thank you.
At least now you have your president that had shoes when he was going to school.
Yes. He now gotten a lot of shoes. Maybe is it one shoe?
No, a lot more.
Thank you, distinguished.
But he's a fine gentleman too.
Yes.
He's a personal friend of mine, and I know him on a personal basis. We sit in council when I was governor. Okay. I mean, President Jonathan.
Yes.
He is an amiable person. He is also a good man. But at the stage we are in Nigeria, we do not need a very good man. We need a man who can stand up to the crooks in Nigeria, the thieves in Nigeria.
Okay, distinguished Senator. Thank you. Thank you
so much.
Thank you.
We'll take a break. When we return, we'll play back that interview with former Governor Peter Obi. Don't go away. So let me start by asking, how does it feel to be a former governor? I've never been one, so I don't know. I don't know. How does it feel?
I'm sure you've met a lot of them. So, normal, same thing.
Like you wake up normal?
Yeah, everything is the same thing. It depends actually how do I say it, whether you allow the office to change you in terms of how you live, your behavior, your timing and everything, or you were like maintaining the same style or behavior while you're in office.
Well, I met a former governor once who told me that, right after the handover, he took off, he traveled out of the country, came back after 2 weeks. And the first day he slept in his house, woke up the next morning about 9 o'clock, checked his phone, no calls yet. And he thought probably the signal was out. He used his second phone to call his phone, and it was working all right. But the calls had drastically reduced. Too many people who were getting in touch were no longer getting in touch. Is it the same thing for you?
No. For me, I would say it's the same thing. There was nothing. The only, in terms of my routine, it's the same thing. In terms of my moving around and everything, it's the same thing. Because when I was in office, there was no difference. Of course, those of you who have traveled with me, I travel on my own. I carry my bag. You know, so for me, there's nothing. The vehicles that I use, the same vehicles that I use. The life where I live is the same where I live. So
Did you feel
those who
lonely?
call me, say call, and the ones calling me.
Are still the same.
Were you lonely? Did you like feel lonely? I mean,
No, because like I said before, let me just give an example. I've never, as a governor, never traveled out of this country with anybody. People know I don't travel first class. So the class I travel is what I still travel today. If it's local flights, everybody knows I travel on my own. I travel economy, and that's what I still travel today. So I don't miss anything. And when I'm in Abuja,
You travel economy on local flights?
every now, that's what I fly. As a governor, that's what I fly today. So I don't miss anything. I'm not used to good lunches and everything. I say, me and Obi other seats where we queue up and everything. So I'm not missing anything.
Okay.
It becomes a problem when you start missing something. I stay in the same hotel I stay when I come to Abuja for meeting for 8 years. I never had opportunity of staying in a governor's lodge. So I'm not missing any lodge or missing any house in Abuja.
Okay.
Wow.
Mr. Obi, your experience in government house was how do they say it? It was rocky. It was smooth. It was everything. You won an election, and it took you so many years to get your mandate. What drove you? You know, a lot of people that faced all the battles you faced would have just said, okay, you can go with it. Let me just move on with my life.
Well, personally, I feel that yes, that's what it should have been, and say, let me get on with my life. But we cannot change a system if we just give up like that. For me, whatever rascality that existed then must be stopped by somebody. And I was determined. Even when everybody says to me, never in Nigeria had anybody been able to, you know, rescue his mandate through the courts. Somebody had been sworn in, there's no way. I was 1 year, 2 years, the third year in court, people were like, you're mad. But you can see today, if I didn't do that, we won't have Governor Mimiko, Shomole, all these people today. But because I stayed on and said, no, somebody must stop this.
You broke the wall.
Yes.
You changed the game, as it were.
Then you should be the real game changer, you know.
And the same thing happened with impeachment.
Yes.
We were about 3 or 4 of us impeached at the same time. Everybody refused to. I said, no, I'm not going to go away. We can't allow this rascality to continue. And I stayed on, went to court, and came back. And when I came back, a lot of people tried and said, oh, it's possible. Let's go. We'll try and come back through the courts. Same thing will happen with interpretation.
Of tenure.
Of tenure. You know, said, oh, it's over. I said, no. Constitution says 4 years from date of swearing. And I stayed on the court until Supreme Court said I'm right. So if you don't do this, just like I always tell people, when they ask, I said, go and look at the reason why I was impeached in the first place. You cannot find anywhere in Anambra State, in the House of Assembly, anywhere, any document related to my impeachment. It's not
Nothing.
Nothing, absolutely
No
nothing.
gazetted, nothing.
Nothing. It's not there.
It never existed.
It never existed. Because if you read the first two reasons for my impeachment, it was ridiculous. In 2004, Anambra State Government House was burnt. So was the Governor's Lodge. In 2006, when I became governor, an approved budget of about 300 million naira was provided for renovation of the governor's office. And about 500 million was approved approved budget for renovation of the governor's lodge. I repaired everything in the governor's office, which had an approved about 300 million budget. I did everything with 43.2 million naira.
Renovation.
I did everything this is the approved budget, about 300 million. Everything I did with 43.2 million.
In the two buildings?
No,
in
one.
In one.
The one they had budgeted 500, about 500, I did with 81.
81.
Yes, and they said I didn't do it through due process. The reason is that if I wanted the contract, and I said, no, we don't have money, we have to buy these materials. I know where these materials,
direct labor.
I know where these materials are being sold. So where are we going to give more somebody money to come out? So I bought it myself and did it.
And that was the reason they were impeaching you?
So they'll keep running around. The panel refused to see me. When I now replied the panel and put out what I'm saying down in writing, the panel said, no, they can't go on. So they went on recess. They said they're taking 2 weeks break. I said, okay, when you come back. The next day I said, they said I'm impeached due to the panel report. Why did I say that? There must be a time for a change. What is the cause of impeachment? The cause of impeachment is that I was bringing about a change. So I had for enemies all those who live off the old order. And those who are not sure whether I will succeed, everybody became my enemy.
All right. Your Excellency, today you are a card-carrying member of the PDP. Before now, as governor of Anambra State, 2-term governor, you were a member of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, APGA. We will come to what a lot of people think about your movement. But for you as a person, how difficult was it, the transition?
And why did you have to transit?
Why did you have to transit?
Well, it wasn't a difficult transition. Let me just put it that way. It wasn't a difficult transition. For me, these are steps you take as you progress in politics. Yes, I was a foundation member of AMGA. I was part of that setup. And like I did mention to them, I started my journey as a governor with this party. I'm going to end it and hand over to an AMGA person. Then think about the next step. You know, for me, whatever I needed to do in the state, I believe I did. At least whenever people say to me, what did you achieve as a governor? What I tell them is that go and ask the people of Anambra State how they feel. But if you want me to mention a few, I always say to them, 1, I brought order and civility in governance. You can ask anybody. Anambra was peaceful for the first time throughout the time I was there. 2, I was able to do something in education. Anambra was number 24 and 25 when I came in WAEC and NECO. By the time I left, we were already first for 3 consecutive years. 4, I was able, apart from every other thing we did, roads and everything, we started a savings culture. And the day I handed over, I did what they call end of year tenure and said, this government was able to invest. In investment, we had about 25 billion naira. In naira savings, we had about 25 billion naira. In foreign currency, which no other state can boast of today, we now left the day I handed over at $56 million in Fidelity Bank, $50 million in Diamond Bank, $50 million in Access Bank. As of last week, it's about $171 million, about $40 billion. No other state in this country can say that. We never borrowed 1 kobo from anybody. What we did is I shut down the cost of governance everywhere and make sure whatever was essential was what we used public money for.
Did that include not conducting local government elections and putting local government chairmen? Was that why, so you could save that kind of money?
No. It wasn't part of it. What happened is that those who wanted me, those who are against me, didn't want me to conduct the election because they think I win everything. I can tell you.
You didn't want to consult.
You didn't want to.
You thought you were going to lose everything.
No, I can't.
You mean for
me. Let me tell you, in the old and new Anambra State, I was the only person who have served 2 tenures for over 40 years. And it was a seamless election. I was the only election, my second tenure election was the only election that neither the president, vice president, or any PDP governor came. And one day I'll tell you why that happened.
Why don't you tell us now?
So all the governors of the South, he said they won't come to campaign against me.
Why was that?
Well, go and ask them, because you can ask why would an AMCA governor be chairman of the zone for 8 years when he's supposed to be 1 year? Because I was close to them. We built brothers.
Were you, all the other governors were PDP, so were you actually PDP in disguise?
No, for me, governance is about benefit to your people. What you've provided to the people.
True.
I can easily say today, Anambra has the best road network in Nigeria. You can go and drive. So anything I tell you, like I said, in education, we took it from 24. We were about, Oyo was 24, and we were 25. Today we are #1, that's still 24.
Okay.
Is it clear? And I can tell you all this. In MDG, in every other way, we took it from here to here. It's clear. You can define it, you can see
Let's go talk politics, a little politics. You know, you left, you kept your promise, you served as ABGA governor for 8 years, you handed over to an ABGA governor. Just weeks after, months after, you parted ways with your predecessor. We started seeing things in the papers.
No. Don't mind what people write in the papers. And
including documentaries, even
on
documentaries
TV. Where they said Peter Obi, the inconsistency of a man.
No, because they know that if I come there and campaign, it will be disastrous. So that one is campaign, it's not.
So what led to the fallout with your predecessor?
No, I don't have any issue. Let me tell you, people don't even know my relationship between me and the governor.
Would you mind sharing it with us?
See, the person who is governor today, as chairman of a bank, I promoted him from GM to ED. And of course, you can say that his election is my 3rd term. I was a governor at 43. No other person in Anambra State from XDF became a governor under the age of 55. How will a man what you have at 43, you interview people, why will you fall about with people who are doing it as in old age? This is something I've done and finished with. I've done, there's no anybody, you see, what happens in politics is that in 2 camps, you always have beneficiaries who try to drag you into it. For me, I finished with Anambra State.
Does the governor have an issue with you? I think you're playing.
No way.
You're playing politics with.
No way. I can tell you, if you want now, call him now. He can't have an issue with me. I can call him and call his people now and say, "Oh well, listen," and that's it. No issue.
There's no issue.
But what about this issue that people in Anambra, APGA people are promoting this because it's on television and it's in the papers and everything, and they accuse you of betraying the legacy of the Ikemba.
No, they don't know. They
made so much effort to help you.
They don't even know the legacy of the Ikemba. The legacy of the Ikemba is that the interest of the Igbo man should be protected at the center. That is his legacy. Go and read what I said. That's why when he came back from Ivory Coast, he joined MPN. It was when he thought that we were not being protected at center. That was one of the reasons for promotion of APGA.
So are you on the Juku path by coming to PDP
1 minute,
now?
I'm explaining to you.
Yes.
I'm explaining to you. Peter Obi, introduced Jonathan and Ojukwu. And for the first time, a president of the country treated him so fairly. And his wife and everybody is alive today will tell you, as long as Jonathan is in politics, Peter support him. My position today is that I have to be part of building a better Nigeria for the future of our children. That is where I am. I have nothing to do there. I've set up the standard there. It is there for people to follow. I don't need to go back there. Whenever you say back, goodbye, and listen. In this country, when I was in the bank, I told Obasanjo, then president, in one of the meetings with bank chairman, if you don't want banks to collapse, make sure you jail the MD and the chairman of the bank 25 years without option of fine. No banks will collapse. Because I saw people, we are going to buy all sorts of vehicles with people's money, holding meetings in Dubai and China and everything. But you can't do it with me, because I said, no, the bank is in Nigeria. If you want board meeting, let's have it in Nigeria. Anything we cannot decide here, that's it. When I became governor, it was the same thing. People wanted me to come to Abuja with 30 people who nobody invited for meeting. When the meeting says only me. And then I will use public money to bring them here, constitute a nuisance, and because they're idle, they're in hotels eating, and I will pay. No. I said no. Everything must be chopped off.
Well, former governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi, wonderful interview there, but there's a lot more in that interview which you can find on our website, www.hblnews.com. You can go to our news portal to get the full interview with Peter Obi. Obiora.
Well, I think that's our package for tonight.
Yes.
We have a big secret for you. We'll be releasing that in a few days. So you just have to watch the O&M Late Show.
It's a must-watch.
It's a must-watch, but we're not telling you when we are going to do that.
It's everything you wanted to know about the 2015 elections. Presidential elections, that is.
I am Obiora Ilo. Thanks for watching.
And I am Mahmoud Akuga. Bye for now.